Hello people, another beautiful day. Yeah. Look, look, first of all, let me say this. No insults, threats, no cursing, swearing, threats, or disrespect to the governor of California, to the police that in California, to all the judges that sits on the bench in California, to all the lawyers and attorneys, paralegals, okay, and to the city managers and mayors and the UC Berkeley chancellor. But I had a situation that happened on UC Berkeley campus, and I was placed in jail. I never been arrested before, and I was placed in jail for a crime I never did. Basically, I was kidnapped off the street and used as a replacement, right? And I was placed in Santa Rita jail, and I spent some time there. And I was arrested for a crime I didn't do. So the first time I saw the victim is municipal court. The first time the victim saw me is municipal court. So went to court hearings after court hearings, after court hearings. Then I remember one judge looked at me and said, I want to know what you were doing in the room, but he was just laughing at the case. He was really laughing at the case. He was trying to tease me, but at the same time he was laughing at the case. So the judge that dismissed the case, he was looking at my case, and then he just started laughing at it too, right? But he was laughing at it for some reason. But anyway, so anyway, once I was dismissed, right, then I was released. So I wrote a letter to I tried to get in contact with the city manager of Berkeley and the mayor and the chancellor, but everybody was quote unquote busy, but nobody really wanted to talk to me, but I reached out to him anyway, and nobody wanted to talk. So I think I gave my case to KP, I think it was KPIX Channel 5. I think Ann Warner was working there at the time, but then she was moved out the way and then moved to another location. So I'm sitting there reading the court papers, and I decided to go to a law office, and there was some wording on the court papers that I didn't understand. So went to this law office, and then I'm sitting there talking to this attorney, and she has like this big old desk, right? So she was like it was like this. She's like sit like this, but I'm like in front of her, right? And the desk is pretty big. So we're sitting there talking about the case, and she kept telling me that my case is set in stone. But anyway, we were just going over the paperwork and stuff, and then she was trying to help me fill it out. So I'm sitting there talking to her, and then she tells me like, well, my case is set in stone. So while I'm sitting there talking to her about the case, about my court case, she reached under her desk and then hit a button, and then next thing I know, security came and escorted me out the building. But I did nothing to her, and while the security was escorting me out the building, she came out the office, and then she was like this, right? And I'm looking at her, and I'm like, huh? Anyway, so I said, you know what, let me go file this case. Then when I tried to go file the case, I said, I'm just going to turn the paperwork in. Let me just file this case. So when I tried to turn the case in, turn the paperwork in to file it, my case is blocked. Right? So I waited another week, tried to go file my case again. My case is blocked. I tried again. My case is blocked. I even tried to talk to the city managers and stuff. Like I've seen him. Like I seen the city manager of Berkeley walking in the streets one day, and then when he saw me coming, he took off running. But I was still trying to communicate with people, but nobody wanted to talk to me. So I tried to the court clerk again to file my case. My case is blocked. So I'm like, okay, I can't file my case now. I can't file it. It's blocked. I'm trying to talk to the city manager and the mayor and the UC Berkeley chancellor. Nobody wants to talk. So I'm at a standstill now. But thanks to the power of social media, now I can get to you. So, but this video is this video is really for the judges in California. It's really for the lawyers and attorneys in California. So anyway, you know, I reached out to people. Nobody wants to reach back to me, right? Took my case to a law office. Gave my case to Ann Warner. They moved her. Went to a law office to go fill out the paperwork and get this thing filed. The lawyer turned around and had me kicked out of the building for no apparent reason. And then when I tried to go file my case is blocked. But like I said, thanks to the power of social media now, I can get to these people. But my video is really for the judges in California because I got a question for them. A lawyer told me my case is set in stone, right? So if my case is set in stone, that means there's nothing I can do, right? Okay, so here's the question. If it is set in stone, like the lawyer told me, my case, then what happens when you take a sledgehammer and hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and they all crack? Is it really set in stone? You know, a lawyer blocked my case. I reached out to people, nobody wants to talk, right? And then a lawyer blocked my case because she knows the seriousness of it, and then she knows the ramifications of it, right? And then she told me my case is set in stone. So my case is blocked. Nobody wants to talk. But now I got social media. But anyway, my question to every judge, even the ones that dismiss my case, my question is to all the judges, lawyers, attorneys, and paralegals that work the court system. Here's the question. If my case is set in stone, then what happens when you take a sledgehammer and hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and they all crack? Is it really set in stone? No, I have reached out to people and nobody wants to talk to me, okay? So, I went to jail for free. I went to jail for free with no criminal record. Never been arrested for anything. Then I was placed in a situation where I've never been, but I was never compensated for my time. And an attorney blocked my case, and I sent letters to the city managers and the mayors of Berkeley, and nobody wants to talk. But an attorney who blocked my case told me my case is set in stone. But now my counter argument to her statement that she made, if my case is set in stone, then what happens when you take a sledgehammer, hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and they all crack? Is it really set in stone? Now, from the time the situation happened up till present, nobody wants to talk to me, right? You know what I'm saying? And what makes it even worse, not even the mayor, the city manager of Berkeley, or the UC Berkeley chancellor, because the situation happened on UC Berkeley campus, not one of them say, you know what, Mr. Reid, we screwed up, we messed up, we arrested the wrong person. You know what? Here goes a scholarship to UC Berkeley, and we call it a day. Not one person said that to me. From the time the situation happened up until present, not one person said that to me or made that suggestion to me. Not one. And my case is blocked by an attorney who told me my case is set in stone. So my question is this: if my case is set in stone, then what happens when you take a sledgehammer and hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and they all crack? Is it really set in stone? Again, no cursing, no swearing, no threats, no insults or disrespect to the governor of California with the government in Sacramento, to all the judges that sits on the different benches in the California circuit, to all the lawyers, to all the attorneys, to the paralegals, to the police across California, to all the police across California, to the city manager in Berkeley, to the UC Berkeley chancellor, and to the mayor. But if my case is set in stone, I'm asking you all this question: what happens when I take a sledgehammer and hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and they all crack? Is it really set in stone? Now, I have reached out to everyone. Nobody wants to talk. An attorney blocked my case, and I was at a standstill till the idea came to me a couple of weeks ago about using social media. But now that social media is everywhere, this is a serious question. No, if my case is set in stone, what happens when you take a sledgehammer, hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and they all crack? Is it really set in stone? Now, I have never had a criminal record ever in my life. Okay? And I spend time in jail for free. Okay? And why go in Santa Rita jail? And why go into all those court hearings? All those court hearings after court hearings after court hearings. The first time I saw the girl is municipal court. The first time the girl saw me is municipal court. The girl house was burglarized, right? And she lost a MacBook Pro. Do you know what computer I had on me? I had a Dell 1300 on me. So how does a person with no criminal history get arrested for a crime he never did? This is the computer I had on me. The girl on UC Berkeley campus lost a MacBook Pro. This is a Dell 1300, Dell Inspiron 1300, and that's what I had on me. So how does a person spend all that time in jail for a crime he never did, and he never got compensated? This computer right here, this laptop, that's what I had on me. And I spent all that time in jail going to court hearings after court hearings after court hearings. And the first time I saw the girl is municipal court. The first time the girl saw me is municipal court. And I reached out to the city manager of Berkeley, and to the mayor, and to the UC Berkeley chancellor, and nobody wanted to talk. And then I took my case to Channel 5. They moved Ann Warner out of the way. Then I went to a law office, and then the attorney that I'm sitting there talking to and trying to get my paperwork filled out, she blocked my case and then told me my case is set in stone. So again, if my case is set in stone, then my counter argument is this: what happens when you take a sledgehammer, hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and they all crack? Is it really set in stone? And no one even compensated me for my time that I spent in jail with a clean record. No one compensated me for my time. No one said, you know what, Mr. Reid or Chris, we're sorry for this happening. You know what? Here goes a scholarship to UC Berkeley, and we call it a day. No one did that from the time the situation happened up until now. No one compensated me for my time. Okay? The girl on UC Berkeley campus lost a MacBook Pro. This is a Dell Inspiron 1300. And I spent all that time in jail for nothing. Okay? And I got people don't want to talk to me, blocking my case. So again, no insults, cursing, threats, or disrespect, or using profanity to the California government, to Governor Gavin Newsom, to the police across California, to all the judges that sits on the different benches in California, to all the lawyers, to all the attorneys, to the paralegal, to the mayor of Berkeley, the city manager, and the UC Berkeley chancellor. But I'm going to ask them this question, everybody this question. If my case is set in stone, then what happens when you take a sledgehammer and hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and they all crack? Is it really set in stone? When does a person go to jail for free and never get compensated? When does that happen? When the police pulled me over on UC Berkeley campus, this is what I had on me. This is what I had on me. A Dell Inspiron 1300. And the girl lost a MacBook Pro. And if you want to go there, we can go there. What you saying, black people? I don't even want to get into this whole race debate. But what you're saying, a black person don't know computers? Is that what you're saying? Don't get me started. Okay? I reached out to people, and no one had the common decency to reach back to me. No one even compensated me for my time. Offered nothing. And from the time that situation happened up until now, no one offered me anything. Nothing. I went to jail for free with a clean record. The first time I saw the girl is municipal court. The first time the girl saw me is municipal court. The girl lost a MacBook Pro. Her home was burglarized. She lost a MacBook Pro. And this is a Dell Inspiron 1300. A laptop. This is what I had on me. Can't you tell? This is what I had on me. This is not a MacBook Pro. This is not a MacBook Pro. And I spent time in jail for free for that, and no one wants to compensate me for my time? No one? You blocked my case? You blocked my case, so there's no way I can file my case. But thanks to the power of social media, this video is for you, is for the city of Berkeley. From the time the situation happened up until now, I never was compensated for my time. I spent free time in Santa Rita jail for nothing. The first time the victim saw me, is municipal court. The first time I saw the victim is municipal court. She even testified in court that's the first time she saw me. And that's the first time I saw her is municipal court. She lost a MacBook Pro. And this is a Dell Inspiron 1300. This is what I had on me. And nobody wants to talk to me to this very day. I wonder why. You had an attorney in San Francisco who blocked my case, telling me it's set in stone. I reached out to the city manager of Berkeley, the mayor, the chancellor. Nobody offered anything. I spend free time in jail for nothing. For nothing. Okay? I reached out to people and nobody wants to talk. Well, I guess when I get some attorneys, then we'll talk then. But again, no insults, no cursing, no threats, no disrespect to the city manager of Berkeley, to the mayor, to the UC Berkeley chancellor, to Berkeley police, to all the lawyers and attorneys that work the court system, to all the judges that sits on the different benches in California, to the to the public defenders, to Governor Gavin Newsom, and to the government in Sacramento. Not one person offered me anything. Not one person. So let me get this straight. Are you going to try to sit there and tell me that a black man can't are you trying to sit there and tell me that a black man can't walk UC Berkeley campus with a laptop? Is that what you're telling me? Look, this situation did happen, man. You know, it's in court records. It did happen. It did happen. And this was before they had what was this, the body cams installed on the police body. Okay? From the time that situation happened up until now, nobody offered me anything. Nobody. Yeah. The girl lost a MacBook Pro. I was on UC Berkeley campus walking with this on me. I'm walking with a Dell, walking with this computer on me. Okay? The first time I saw the girl is municipal court. The first time the girl saw me is municipal court. Okay? And I reached out to people. So, you know, but my question again is this. When does a person goes to jail for free and never get compensated? When does that happen? But yet you got the California prison system that makes money off every inmate, whether they're innocent or not, guilty or not. I reach out to people and no one wants to talk to me. Wow. An attorney blocked my case. And she was laughing and giggling at me and then telling me my case is set in stone. Really? But now my counter argument is this. If it is set in stone, what happens when you take a sledgehammer and hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and they all crack? Is it really set in stone? You know what I'm saying? And from the time the situation happened, not one person from the city of Berkeley, meaning the mayor, the UC Berkeley chancellor, or the city manager offered me anything. Not one person. Not one of them said, you know what, Chris? We screwed up. We messed up. We apologize, you know. You know what? Here goes scholarship to UC Berkeley and call it a day. Not one person did it. And here I am, me, who never had a criminal record in their life. Spend time in Santa Rita jail for free. Going to all these court hearings after court hearings after court hearings. And then the first time I see the victim is municipal court. The first time the victim saw me is municipal court. An attorney blocked my case in San Francisco and told me my case is set in stone, and she was laughing at me like this. But now my counter argument to that statement she made is this: if it is set in stone, what happens when you take a sledgehammer, hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and they all crack? Is it really set in stone? And again, no cursing, no threats, no swearing, no insults or disrespect to the government in California, to Mayor Gavin Newsom, to the city manager of Berkeley, to the mayor of Berkeley, to the UC Berkeley chancellor, to all the public defenders, to all the lawyers and attorneys, and to all the judges that sits on the bench in California. I had a Dell Inspiron. This computer had a Dell Inspiron 1300 on me. And the girl lost a MacBook Pro. Lost a MacBook Pro. And I had a Dell Inspiron 1300 on me. And I spent time in jail for nothing. For free. The first time I saw the girl is municipal court. The first time the girl saw me is municipal court. And everybody was running from this case. I don't know why. It's beyond me. And I went to so many different avenues, and then I had an attorney block my case and tell me my case is set in stone. And my counter argument is this to all the judges that sits on the bench in California, to all the lawyers, and to all the public defenders. If my case is set in stone, then what happens when you take a sledgehammer, hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and they all crack? Is it really set in stone? Anyway, yeah, I went to jail for free. For free. I'm probably the first person in California that ever did it. I went to jail for free. For free. What they say, you receive free, give free. I went to jail for free. Went through the court system. Went through the court system. Prison system. You know, sat in all the prisons for free. And then the day of the hearing, the first time I saw the girl is municipal court. The first time the girl saw me is municipal court. This situation happened on UC Berkeley campus. Yeah. But I reached out to people, and nobody wants to reach out to me. I wonder why. I mean no harm. I mean no harm. The girl lost a MacBook Pro on UC Berkeley campus. And what I had on me was a Dell Inspiron 1300. And from the time that situation happened up until now, up until present, not even the mayor, the Berkeley city manager, what's his name, Chris Worthington, and the UC Berkeley chancellor, not one of them offered me anything. Not one of them. And they didn't even say, you know what, we screwed up, we messed up. Here goes scholarship to UC Berkeley and call it a day. We messed up. Nobody offered me anything. But yet I have an attorney that blocked my case. So she just made the situation worse. And she gonna tell me that my case is set in stone. But now my question to all these judges and these lawyers and these attorneys and the public defenders, and no disrespect to the city managers, mayors, chancellors, police, governor of California, but this question is for everybody. If it is set in stone like the attorney told me, what happens when you take a sledgehammer, hit a stone, a wall, a rock, concrete, and a building block, and they all crack? Is it really set in stone? Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna leave this on the internet so y'all can enjoy it. And again, I'm just sitting there just like, you know, but thanks to the power of social media, you know, I can finally reach people. You know, thanks to the power of social media. I can finally reach these people. I mean, from the time the situation happened, up until now, nobody offered me anything. Okay. Well, when the time comes, we'll talk. Nice talking to you, beautiful people. Have a nice day.